Hi everyone. I'm going to assemble one of these gorgeous spring or Easter gift boxes. If you'd like to use my Design Space project, have a look in the description right under this video. You'll find the link for the project in my Facebook group. That group link is below. I hope you'll take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's get started. This is the project I'm going to assemble in this video. It's not difficult at all to do, and I think it turns out super cute. I really like these little heart shapes I added to the top. I wanted them to look kind of like petals to match the flowered theme, and I think it works pretty well. I used a nice bright pink bow. You can take ribbon colors from anywhere. Also the background color, I'm using blue, but you could take a background color from anything you see on here and it would look beautiful, including the ribbon. So let's put this together. Not difficult at all. I'm sure you're going to like it. This is the box, the embellishments. This is an extra cut for the bottom. I didn't adhere one to this one. It was my trial cut, but I'll show you how to adhere it in this video. It's not difficult. I have these bright pink elastics. I have a bag of different color elastics that I bought at the dollar store. I just use this folded over once around the top to hold it gathered while I attach the ribbon, and I find it works very well. So I took out a couple of pink. They're close to the color of my ribbon, so they don't really show. You can't really see it on here, and it really helps to gather the top without squeezing it. So let's go ahead and get ready to assemble. We have our pattern pieces. In the project, you'll see that these are print and cut. I used a Design Space background image to make the shapes for print and cut. We're going to fold all the score lines along the bottom. It's long, so it's awkward to handle, but we can do it. All the score lines. I think I'm going to use this for one of those little lint gold bunnies for Easter and a gift card. I think that'll be cute in one of these, but you could fill it with anything you want. Okay, so we have these vertical lines along the bottom, vertical folds. You're going to see that you have a small score line at the top. We don't want to fold that. That is only intended for ease of gathering, because if you have that score line, you can pull it together easier. There's also a score line midway on the hearts. That's so you can pinch them to make them look a little more like petals on the top. I think it's cute. So you only want to fold these vertical and the bottom. Those are all you're going to fold to start. And I like to fold the score lines before I add my pattern paper. It helps to guide the placement of your pattern or your top layers. If you have your own pattern paper that you'd like to use, you can always change these cuts to basic only and use your own pattern paper. But I kind of got tired of going out to buy pads of paper for specific projects, themes, when I realized that all I have to do is search Design Space for background images and I'll find exactly what I need. So we'll just set that aside. Now we're going to add our pattern layers. Do this. I'll start with the squares, and the pattern that I used is directional, so you want to be aware of that when you place it on the base. Watch that your patterns are going in the right direction. Let's get this on here. Okay. I know I have this little blue flower facing up, so I'll continue like that. And we're just going to continue all along with all these small squares at the bottom. And the last square. And there. The bottom's all done. Now we're going to continue with these. When you add these top pieces, you want to make sure that you don't place them over this little score line. You want them below that score line, because this is where it's going to bend and you don't want your pattern piece bending into the shape. So try to be sure that you place it below that score line. Some little too much came out there. I always get adhesive all over me when I do these things. There we go. Place it below the score line and try to line it up with the square on the bottom. That looks pretty good. And we'll just continue like this right across. There we go, and the last one, get that on. Okay. I like to run my brayer over them just to make sure that everything is flat and adhered. I find that helps. Okay, to make our hexagon, we have this little tab at the end that we fold in. We'll turn it over to the back side. We're going to put adhesive on that tab. And we'll fold this over and line it up. So I'm going to let it dry very well. If you're using two-way tape instead of liquid, this will be a little quicker, but I'm going to let that dry before I go any farther. Okay, I hope that's dry enough. So now what we're going to do is the bottom, work on the bottom, so we're just going to push these tabs out. I'm going to push my hexagon in so that we make the shape of this box. Can just push it in, doesn't have to be perfect. Now we're going to add adhesive to these little tabs. The extra piece that we're going to adhere on the bottom is going to hide the construction and also give it a little more strength. So if you put anything a little heavy into it, candy can be heavy, it'll have a little more strength. So we'll just fold these down and turn it over. Whoops. And we're going to push our hexagon down and get it nice and even. We want to get our hexagon shape properly. I'm going to take this long bone folder and use it to push things down on the inside. See how it looks? It's good. See, there really isn't a lot to it. It's quite easy to make, but it does look really cute. Kind of got that egg shape, so it's nice for Easter. good. Okay, so we have this extra hexagon that we want to use on the bottom. Okay, I'm going to take my pen. A hexagon is not as tall as it is wide, so I suggest that you dry fit it before you add adhesive. So if I put this on in this direction, it looks like it fits pretty good. I don't want it to be overhanging. If you make a mistake and it is overhanging, you can always take a scissor and trim it. See how that fits in that direction. See, I seem to have this little edge here, but I can trim that off with a scissor if I need to. Okay, so I'm going to flip it this way so I know which way I want to put it on. I'm going to make a little mark here just to show me where it's going to go, and a little mark here so I know which direction to put it on. Yesterday when I was doing this one, I didn't make those little marks. I put my adhesive on, and when I went to apply it to the bottom, I had it all twisted around and it was not pretty. So I took it off and discarded it and decided this time I would add a little mark to it, and I covered the mark. No, I didn't. I like to put the extra bottom on to hide the construction, of course. You can put all these little tabs on the inside, but it's easier just to put them on the outside. And there's my mark. I'm going to join it up with this one. And we're going to try and not have anything overhanging. That looks pretty good. I have a tiny edge there. Can I move it? Yeah. There we go. I'll turn it upside down. And once again, I'm going to use my bone folder to try and adhere it. Try and get it really well adhered to the bottom. That looks pretty good. It looks cleaner than seeing all the construction, and I don't think I have anything overhanging. I should let it dry longer, but we'll continue. So now I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to give these tops just a little curve. Not too much. You don't want it round, but you want to give them a little curve towards the center. Only go as high as the pattern paper. Don't go above that. Could use a little more. That's good. It's easier to gather the top if you give these a little curve also. And I like the shape that it gives the project. It gives that cute shape. So now we're going to pinch these in at the top. Pinch them towards you. So the pinch is in. Just pinch them. There's a little score line up at the top. I wanted them to look kind of like petals when they were assembled. That's cute. So we're pinching them in all the way around. There we go. And the last one. And we can see how we gather it. And once it's gathered, you can play around with them to make it look like a flower, sort of like a flower. I'm going to take my elastic that I find is so handy. So see, we haven't really done that score line, anything with that score line. I'm going to put this elastic on just to hold it in place. And I like to have every second one on the inside. Every second one on the inside. And you have an even number. You have 6 lats or strips. So it works out perfectly to have every second one on the inside. And then you can play around with your petals and make them pretty. That's very cute. There, kind of looks like a flower at the top. Sweet. We're going to take some ribbon. I'm cutting too much because I'm really not good at tying bows. Let's see. Try and get this even, and I'll trim it after. Where's the part I didn't like? That will be my back. That's the back. See my crooked one here? I don't think you can see it. That's going to be the back. Okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to turn it around. I seem to have better results when I tie my bows upside down like this. There we go. Just even out the bow. And I'll trim it a little, not too short. And there we go. Isn't that pretty? And so easy to assemble. You can make them so easily, and they don't take long. You can do several of them quite quickly. I think these would be cute too for sending a gift to the teacher, or to your children's teachers, or neighbors, or whatever. I think they're very pretty. And just fuss a little with the petals at the top to make a kind of a flower, and you're all done. So I hope you like this project. I hope you're going to make some. See, the bottom looks much better than this one. You definitely want to add that extra piece to the bottom. And as I mentioned, don't worry if you have a bit of an overhang. If you don't get it on perfectly, you can just take a scissor and trim along the edge, and it will be perfect. So I have 2 more to make because I have 4 adults that I want to give these to. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're going to make some. Please post pictures in my groups. If you do make them, I'd love to see how they turn out. Thank you for watching.